Hey, this is Gina Grad.
Hi, this is Teresa Strasser.
Hi, everyone. This is Mike Errico.
Hey there. This is Casey Cavalier.
I'm Rocky Rose.
And you are listening to The Jay Franze Show.
Lucky you.
Welcome to The Jay Franze Show. A behind-the-curtain look at the entertainment industry with insights you can't pay for and stories you've never heard. Now, here's your host, Jay Franze.
And we are coming at you live. I am Jay Franze, and joining me tonight, the Lily to my Marshall, my beautiful co-host, Miss Tiffany Mason.
Good evening, Jay.
If you are new to this show, this is your source for the latest news, reviews, and interviews, and you can join in, you can comment, you can fire off questions, and if you feel froggy and want to do it live here on the show tonight with us, you can do that at jfranze.com/live. All right, my friend, before we get started, let's just mention the question of the day. The question of the day is something we'll answer later in the show. We will discuss it with you, so make sure you put your answers in the comments, and we will also read them from the socials. The question is, what is the best song to make Woopee 2? Now, we say Woopee back to the dating game. Do you remember that?
I love that, yes.
Was it called the dating game? What was it called?
The Newlywed Game.
Newlywed Game. Thank you. You got it. Well,
yeah, thank you. How many points do I get for that? 10 points?
Do we have a sound effect for that?
Yeah.
That'll work. Anyways,
take an air horn.
Yes. The Newlywed Game. So go ahead and put those comments in the comment section. Go ahead and fire them off on the socials. Do whatever you want to do, but get them to us. We will read them a little later here in the show. Miss Tiffany, last week we talked about a band called Hailstorm. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I would like to tell you, I'd like to tell everybody else here, that about, I would say, 7 years ago. I'm trying to judge based on my daughter's age. So about, I would say, I don't know, 7 to 10 years ago. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not good at numbers. 7 to 10 years ago, my wife, my 2 daughters at the time, I took them to meet Halestorm. We were big fans. We still are big fans. We've always enjoyed their music. So I took them and we went and met with them, the whole band. It was nice to see the whole band. And when we walked in the room, Lizzy Hale, yes, ma'am.
Oh, I was going to ask. That was my question.
She's raising her hand like there's a question.
Slowly raising my hand. I didn't know if Lizzy had been with them yet. Because didn't they have another lead singer before? Okay, it's always been her.
Lizzy Hale, Lizzy Hale, the band Hailstorm. Her and her brother are the ones who started the band. They started playing music together as kids. And as they grew up, their friends joined the band and so on and so forth. Somehow
I thought that you had told me there was a different lead singer. I don't know.
Well, it's a little early in the show for me to be pressing buttons, but I'm close. I'm close to pressing it.
Oh, no.
Anyway, so I took my family down. We had a chance to meet with them. And as soon as we walked in the room, I mean, Lizzy bypassed me. She bypassed my wife. She went straight up to Bella, my oldest daughter. And she got down on her knees and just gave her the biggest hug ever and was so sweet to her. So it was very good. And Lucy, the reason why I say it was, roughly, I don't know, I'm going to say 9 years ago, because Lucy was strapped to my wife's chest. I've got a picture of it, and she's strapped to my wife's chest. So she was a youngin' at the time. She's 10 now.
Yeah, 9 years ago. Yeah.
About 9 years ago. She must have been 1 or 2 years old. So anyway, she's strapped to the chest, but Lizzy bypassed all of us and went straight to Bella, gave her this big hug, just super nice to her. And it was great. She signed a picture for her. My daughter put it in a frame. We still have it. It's a great picture. If I remember I'll throw it up on Instagram so everybody can check it out.
Yeah, I think that maybe all of your daughter's cool introductions to these bands and everything, I would think that that's made an impression on her. And so that's probably why, because she's playing guitar and everything now, right? So yeah. I would think that has some weight. We form these stories or whatever they claim when we're, younger in life. And so somewhere along the line, she has picked up that playing guitar and music and all those things are good things. Plus, you're in the industry, so that's got to have an effect on her as well.
Well, it's cool. It's funny, too, that she's the one that wants to play music, but she never goes to shows with me. Lucy's the one that goes to shows with me, and Lucy doesn't have any desire to play music. It's funny how it works, but...
Oh, that is odd.
I mean, strapped to my wife's chest, she's meeting Hailstorm.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen to average people, and here she is from that young, and she goes to...
And you are not average, Joe.
Yeah.
Not an average Joe.
Oh, I was going to say, you just call me Joe?
No.
I'm close to pressing it.
Your fingers are just burning.
I'm just,
You're twitching.
Ready to do it. Yeah, I'm like a junkie.
Can I fire her?
Shaking over here. Is it too early to fire? George, chime in. Is it too early to fire yet?
Yes,
anyway.
George.
So anyways, we met the band. It was great. And then maybe, I don't know, a year or so later, I got to work with them. And she came up to me and she said hi and remembered me and everything. And I didn't think she did. We talked for quite a while. I didn't really think like she remembered anything. But she came up to me before she left and she hands me a guitar pick. And she says, will you give this to your daughter?
Wow.
And I said, absolutely. So I took it. Now that guitar pick sits inside the picture frame of the picture that we have with them.
I thought you were going to say you took it.
Yeah, I took it. I didn't even tell my daughter it happened. I don't know what you're talking about. So, anyways, I go through this story just to tell you that Hailstorm has a new single out.
Wait.
What?
You didn't finish. She put it in the picture frame and what?
Well, it's still there. It's in the picture frame. Okay. It's signed, the picture that's signed by the band. Okay. It's just an addition to the picture frame. If we ever meet up with the band again and they give us something else, I'm sure it'll end up somehow on the picture frame.
Yeah, cool.
Very nice person.
Do you know how young they were when they formed the band and then how old they were when you met them?
Yeah, when they formed the band, they were in like junior high school. I mean, they were young.
Oh, my goodness.
Young. I mean, there's pictures of them playing together, her and her brother at early ages.
Oh.
But how old are they now? I mean, or when I met them, oh, God, I'd say 30s.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
Now I would say they're probably 40s. If I was a betting man.
Thanks, I couldn't do that math.
I don't. Well,
really
we established earlier I'm not good with numbers, and to be fair, we're talking about you.
Plus 9. Oh, that hurt. That hurt right in my heart. That hurt.
Anyways, they have a new single out. They have a new single.
Yes, they do.
We checked it out earlier. It's called "Darkness Always Wins." I have to say, as much as I like Hailstorm, and as much as we put Lizzy Hale at the top of our best ever female vocalist, this song wasn't my favorite.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad song. I think the thing for me is it took too long to kick in.
Yeah.
It kicked in eventually.
Yeah.
But it was a very, very long build-up.
Mm-hmm.
So, what did you think of the song? Sinister. Starting off sinister.
I thought that at the beginning I heard that movement again where like I guess I'm becoming more aware of it maybe. I felt like there were layers going on, like it wasn't all flat or like in your face like you say or big and lush. But I do agree that it was like get to the point. Like, you know, you're waiting for that breakout, especially from a band like that, and it does take a really long time. And I don't like the words. So we all know I'm all about the story, and it's talking about drowning in sin, and I'm not drowning in my sin. I'm not without sin. I'm just saying I'm not drowning in it. And that darkness always wins, and I don't think darkness always wins. So it's a hard song for me to get behind, but maybe there's a dual meaning. Sometimes my mind can be changed, but
yeah, she mentioned in an interview that it wasn't about promoting darkness or negativity, but she said it also wasn't about promoting positivity. She says it's just talking about reality as it is right now.
Maybe it's an industry thing because also Twisted's song was dark thoughts.
Yeah. Maybe
when people were creating 6 months ago or a year and a half ago or whatever, maybe
things were dark.
I don't know. Maybe. Well, we were in an election year, so
things were dark.
Things were dark.
Yeah, could be. I don't know.
just weird that those songs came out very similar time frame, similar style of band, and then,
It just felt more like an experimental song to me than their typical song.
Yeah, it did say signaling a new creative direction. So, I don't know, maybe they're trying something out, but this experiment may not go in their favor.
Each of their albums, I will say, they take a new direction. They don't repeat themselves, which I appreciate. They don't repeat themselves. But it doesn't really go too far from their base, which is rock music.
Yeah.
They're a heavier music. It's not over the top heavy. It's still got a melody. It still has room for her voice to be melodic and show off the low points as well as the high and the power behind her. So this did a little bit of that, but it was the beginning of the song was a little too much for me.
Yeah. Yep. I would agree.
All right.
I would agree.
George, if you don't mind giving her a call and get her on the show, and we will
we'll talk to her.
We'll talk to her. We'll see how she feels about our comments. Remember, Lizzie, we did say that we liked you.
Yes, you did get a lot of credit.
I personally put you at the top of the best female vocalists ever. Now, you did get kicked off, but
I did that. I am sorry.
It was by Pat Benatar, so there's nothing wrong with that. No shame there.
Yep.
George says he'll work on it, and he also says it's too early to fire you.
Thanks, George. Halestorm collaborates with Fame on Fire with a new single, Euphoria. And you knew all about Halestorm. It says that they are Florida rockers, but you felt like maybe they moved around a little bit and they maybe ended up in Nashville.
I believe they're in Nashville now.
Okay.
Halestorm is a great band. It's a husband and wife. They performed obviously together, and then they bring in a drummer. And they have this opportunity now. They tour around the world. But when I found them, it was on YouTube, and they performed, cover tunes, but really powerful, strong cover tunes. It was really good. It drew me in, and then I noticed they were playing live streams on Twitch, like regularly, like twice a week. And they were earning a boatload of money playing it. People were just paying them not to end the stream. They wanted to see it keep going. People would chime in songs, make requests, and they'd play them. And if they didn't know the song, they would literally just put you on pause for a second and learn it right there on the spot, and then come back and play it. I mean,
that's talent.
They're a talented band. They really are. But what really got me was not just their talent and their performances and stuff, but it was out of their house.
Yeah.
And their house looks like a television studio.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a recording studio. And they just played these shows that looked top notch, and it was really, really good. And they were just really good all around.
When did you find them?
I would say about 5 years ago.
I was going to ask if it was during COVID.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably right before COVID when I found them, but through COVID for sure, yeah.
Yeah, people don't want them to stop playing because they were bored AF and they were enjoying their music.
I just appreciate their talent. Mm-hmm. And they play hard rock music, and it's female-fronted, and I'm a sucker for a female-fronted hard rock band.
We know
like
this.
Hailstorm, which I think is a really good band, and I think Lizzy Hale is probably one of the best singers ever.
Okay, I have a couple things coming up for me. So, first of all, you shared with me that Sarah's grandma sent the nicest little review, and I was thinking of Hailstorm being like Twisted, not really, but you know what I'm saying, similar.
Very similar.
And it was just really sweet that her grandma wrote into you. So I think we should give a shout out to Sarah's grandma if she's listening. Thank you for the kind words, and that was really sweet.
Well, before you go too far, let's be fair. I think it was her grandfather.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Sarah's grandfather.
To Grandpa Sarah.
Okay. Grandpa Sarah. Yes.
Yeah. Twisted was on the show last week.
Yeah.
Her grandfather wrote us a personal note, which was very nice of him to do. And it was actually very complimentary, not only of his granddaughter, but of us. So
yeah.
thank you, Grandpa Sarah.
Well, you saying that they could like pick a song and then just play it. And I know I've shared before, like when they just call up a random musician and they're like, hey, we need a bassist over here, and they can come and like just show up and play it. I found out tonight that that is true in the symphony as well. I guess it's not like that far of a stretch, but I was just surprised, like, okay. Like you need someone to fill in, and there's just some people that can just do that on a short notice, just show up and start playing.
Some people can play music the way that we talk. I mean, some people are just that good at it. But with a symphony, it's a little easier because they read music.
Sure.
Whereas somebody who's playing in a rock band or something, they come and fill in a rock band or a country band. Although, specifically in country, although most music is repetitive in some way, chord changes.
Sure.
From song to song. I mean, things are very similar. You get 1-4-5 type chord changes, which are built off of the scale. Those things are very easy for a trained musician to pick up on and catch what the repetitive things are, and they can jump in and start playing. I cannot do that. I can recognize it. I know what's going on, but I cannot play.
Yeah. Very cool. Dave Grohl makes a surprise Coachella appearance. He was with Foo Fighters. I almost said food. I think I did say it. Foo Fighters. And he joined the Food Fighters from the cafeteria. Dave Grohl joined Gustavo Dudamel and the Los Angeles Philharmonic for an unexpected performance. And I like the mixing of genres.
Okay. I was never a big fan of Nirvana. I appreciate what they did. I appreciate coming up with a new genre of music. I mean, and that powerful and all that. I appreciate their music. Wasn't necessarily my favorite, and it didn't help that it killed off the genre of music that I loved, which was hair metal at the time. Yeah. But Dave Grohl, dear God, that man is talented. And Foo Fighters is a really talented band. He's a great, great musician.
A multifaceted person.
And for whatever reason, my daughter likes Foo Fighters.
I love this kid.
I say that because her playlist is like the oddest looking playlist. You got Taylor Swift, you got Lana Del Rey, then you've got the Arctic Monkeys and Foo Fighters. It's like, I don't know where you're getting this music from, but okay.
I know some of the stuff that Hannah has too. I'm like, okay. I didn't see that coming, but okay. Like you said, that works. Okay, next on the list is Billy Idol returns with Avril Lavigne in a collaboration for a new album. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
So that'll be pretty cool.
Billy Idol, well, obviously I grew up in the 80s. I mean, that was my day of listening to music, and he was a big man on campus in the 80s.
Yep.
But Avril Lavigne, as much as I get crap over it, I liked Avril Lavigne. And I
did too.
I started liking Avril Lavigne, again, female-fronted rock music, so.
We got your calling card.
Wasn't Hailstorm style rock, but it was punk, heavier than your average commercial song.
Yeah.
So I found it, and this is sad, I used to separate my Apple playlist by producer and engineer. It wasn't by artist. and I had reasons. I mean, I would teach the engineering students, so I would be able to pull examples based on who produced it or who engineered it, which was pretty cool to me. But when I would pull up Chris and Tom Lord Alge, the Lord Alge brothers who mixed Avril Lavigne, I think it was Tom Lord Alge that mixed Avril Lavigne, and I would pull that up and show my students, and they'd be like, Avril Lavigne, and they kind of hit on her a little bit, but I liked her.
Yeah. I'm a big fan.
And then she went to marry Nickelback, and there you go.
Yeah, whatever happened to her? Did she just...
Yeah, I think she's still putting music out and stuff.
Okay. Alice Cooper is reuniting with the original band for the first album in over 50 years. Holy crap. How do you make so much good music, let 50 years go by, and then make more?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Alice Cooper's another one, was never one of my favorites. I don't dislike him, but he was never one of my favorites. He's a good golfer. But he collabs with Hailstorm. He sings with Lizzy Hale all the time. I think it's good that he's going back to his original band.
Yeah.
It's usually the original band that makes people famous. And then they get pissy and fight with each other, and then they break up for some reason or another. And then it's never quite the same again after that. Mm-hmm. So I like when he's going back with them. But he's also going on the road with Judas Priest.
Oh.
I thought that was pretty cool. It's a odd pairing to me.
Why is it an odd pairing to you?
Judas Priest is a little heavier, a little bit more of your traditional hard rockin' music, where Alice Cooper's a little bit more theatrical.
Okay.
I mean, it's rocky and stuff, but it's theatric rock. And when I think of Judas Priest, I think of more like biker rock.
Yeah. Got it. Nickelback and Gretchen Wilson are joining Cattle Country Music Festival. They're going to be singing together. I'm a big fan of both. I had, Garage Band, and one of the Gretchen Wilson songs I loved to do the Gretchen Wilson song.
Are you talking about the video game?
Yeah.
That's not Garage.
For Wii.
Rock Band.
Gosh. Rock Band, yes. Garage Band, oh my gosh.
Garage Band's the software on Apple. I mean, what are we talking about here? You're confusing me.
No.
Tiffany.
Oh.
You're fired.
There you go. Look at that. I hit that muscle memory. I didn't even look at the buttons.
This is because you're me and you fire me all the time.
I've said this before. Nickelback gets a lot of hate, but I really like them. I like all their music. I really liked when Mike Shipley, famous mix engineer, was alive. He mixed their records. You couldn't make a better sounding record than a Nickelback record. I mean, production-wise and quality-wise, Mike Shipley is by far, or was by far, one of the best mix engineers. He was just awesome. And Nickelback albums sound amazing.
Did you ever get to work with him?
No. I worked primarily in the country world.
Oh, sure. Did you get to work with Mike Shipley?
No, that would have been awesome.
What did he do that you appreciated so much? Sorry, I keep interrupting you, but I'm interested in Mike.
Mike, he is just, you talk about what you're calling movement, stereo imaging. So the way things move between the two speakers. And Mike Shipley was very good at that. He was very good at making things sound extremely clean and powerful and good all at the same time. It sounds like things have depth, and there's like, you can reach through and maybe hit a guitar up in front of your face, but then you can reach back and hit another sound deeper into the music. He was just very good. I mean, his productions, the mixes that he did were very good. And to be fair, Nickelback, they record their own music at their house. So they're doing a great job recording it for him to have quality music to mix. So, I mean, just great overall.
What makes it so that it's clean? Like, what do you take a frequency out? What tricks are there to clean it up?
Well, there's a handful of tricks. For me, when I'm mixing a record, the things that I think about are people layer things. They play like 10 guitar parts, maybe a handful of keyboard parts. And when I get the music, I'm a very creative mixer, so I take creative license and I remove parts. So if I have multiple guitars playing at one time, maybe I'll find the ones that don't need to be playing at that time. I take advantage of the stereo imaging, like you mentioned, where I'll put one guitar on one side, maybe a competing guitar on the other side. I
freaking love that.
So I do things like that. And then maybe if a guitar isn't playing at the time, I cut that piece of the music where it's not playing out, so you don't hear the guitar hum or static in the background. I take that out. Now, Bob, he has a favorite quote where he says, "It adds to the party." So he leaves things in because he says it all adds to the party, and it's all that stuff together that makes something sound the way it does. So I agree with Bob. It does add to the party and does make something sound a certain way. But the way I like to hear it sound is clean. I would prefer the Nickelback sound over like another rock band that might leave it all in. So like Dave Grohl is a good example. He works with nothing but the best, and he's a very good engineer and stuff in addition to everything he does. But his is more of the let's leave it in mentality. Nirvana is definitely the leave it in mentality. The guy who mixed the Nirvana record, in my humble opinion, was not one of my favorite engineers. But his style was, let's just leave it all in.
I don't want to offend anybody, but it seems like a lazier way to do it.
It can be. Now, when Bob does it, I don't think it's a lazy approach because Bob takes things and he'll move them out of the way. He'll keep them in, but he'll move things around, and things are constantly moving out of the way of each other. So maybe a vocal will come in as something else fades out, or maybe something will move to the left or to the right to open up space in the center. So I think that is not only taking a less lazy approach, you have to be more creative to make something like that happen.
Sure.
Bob's not the only one who does that either. Bob Clearmountain, again, one of the best mix engineers in the world, he was known for that. Him and Bob are very, very similar mix engineers.
Interesting. I was like picking your brain. When we get together, I want to just listen to music. I want to say, okay, stop the music. What'd they do right there? Okay, play some more. Okay, stop the music. What'd they do right there?
Country music, very clean. Very clean. They use nothing but the best equipment, the best musicians. They play exactly what's expected to play at the exact time. Everything is clean. If you listen to a country record, it's, to me, way, way overproduced sometimes. Where Steve Albini, he produced bands like Nirvana and Garbage and those bands, and it's just a different style of music.
Got it.
There you go.
Well, very interesting. Well, next on our little list here is Mr. Jelly Roll. He is recommended for a pardon from the Tennessee board. He has been unanimously recommended.
Tiffany, you're fired.
George, I'm going to need you to come in here and read the news.
English is tricky. English can be tricky. Anyway, he's asking Tennessee Board of Parole for the crimes committed in his youth to be pardoned. The final decision now lies with Governor Bill Lee. Well, I think if you say his name too fast, it just sounds like Billy.
Makes me think of Bruce Lee.
So I'm sure you did not follow Kim Kardashian when she tried to pardon a couple of people, but I think it's, in the right setting, I think it's a good thing. He surely is giving back to the world, so he's, repenting for whatever he did, and it was in his youth, so.
I'm guessing drug-related.
Yeah.
I believe he has spoken about his drug use in the past.
All right, moving on. Loretta Lynn is honored at the Grand Ole Opry, featuring Crystal Gayle, Emmy Russell, I don't know Emmy Russell, Taylor Lynn, don't know her, Martina McBride, Ashley McBride, and Carly Pierce.
There you go.
Do you know the ones I said I didn't know? Emmy Russell?
No, I don't. I know all the others. Loretta Lynn, great. She was awesome, deserves the recognition for sure. Glad she's getting recognition. Crystal Gayle. I had an opportunity to work on projects for both Loretta Lynn and Crystal Gayle. I met Martina McBride a couple times. I worked out of her studio or her husband's studio quite a bit.
I would think if I met Martina McBride, I'd fangirl. Mostly because of her eyes. I feel like I would just get lost in her eyes.
When I taught at the engineering school, she walked by, she was going into BMI, which is the Performing Rights Organization, and she was walking down the sidewalk, and my students were looking out the window, and they just lost it, started screaming out the window to her.
I believe that.
But she waved. Now, I took people on a tour of the studio, and she was not prepared for people, and she kind of hid off to the side and didn't want people saying hi or recognizing her.
Well, fair enough. I'll never forget hearing Jenna Fisher from The Office, and she was on a podcast talking about her grandmother had just passed, and she was flying home to see her grandmother, and obviously sad. And somebody asked her for an autograph or something, and she declined. And then I guess it showed up on social media, whatever, that she was being a bee. And she's like, I just lost my grandmother. Like, I just wasn't,
right.
Part of it's, that's the limelight that you chose. And part of it is like, there's still people at the end of the day. So, she hadn't taken a shower yet. She didn't want to be seen. She wasn't people ready yet.
Well, little recognition, as long as we're talking about her, Mark Rubel. He was on the show. If you want to check out his episode, it'd be great for you to go back and listen to it. He played in a band out of Chicago, and he moved to Nashville and ended up becoming the head of education at Blackbird Studios. Blackbird Studios is owned by John McBride, Martina McBride's husband. So it's a beautiful studio.
Very cool.
He was there. He was a great guy. He'll be missed. It was sad because he was on the show, and then right after he was on the show, I was going to Chicago to see him play, and his drummer had passed away. So the show was canceled. And then like a week or two after that, Mark passed away.
Wow.
So it was sad. But he worked with Steve Albini in Chicago.
Ah, okay.
So
got it.
Tying it in together.
Very good.
Question of the day. The question of the day is the best song to make whoopee to.
Whoop, 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 whoopee.
The best song to make whoopee to. We're living on the edge tonight, folks.
Whoa.
The best song to make whoopee to. Who knew that we would talk about such a subject? All right, I kick it off, but I tell you, I typically don't worry about music if I'm thinking about making whoopee. I just want to dive in. I have no desire to worry about music. But I will say, my wife remembers this. When we met, who's the lady who, Nora Jones. Thank you. I answered my own question. When my wife and I decided to first make whoopee, it was to the Nora Jones album, the entire album. That's because, it took that long. It was on repeat. Yeah. We had to cycle it through 3 or 4 times.
Didn't we already decide you could only do 5 songs on one side?
Yeah, well. CD, it was on repeat. Give me a break. Anyways, let me live my dream. But Nora Jones was the album playing, so I guess I will go with that one for my best songs to make whoopee to. Nora Jones, if you're out there, chime in. We'll talk to you about it. We'll see if that's the intent you had behind your recording. Miss Tiffany, go ahead and give us an answer of yours.
Well, this is where Metallica comes into play for me.
Oh, dear God. Enter Sandman. Gives me a whole new meaning for that song.
Yeah, I don't know. Just, yep. That's
it? That's all you got to that?
Well,
no story, no nothing?
No, I just like that it's aggressive. So
we're starting to understand. Sweet little Miss Tiffany might not be so sweet, folks.
We all have our skeletons in our closets.
There you go.
So
me, the one who listens to Five Finger Death Punch, brings up Nora Jones and sweet love making with my future wife as we played the album on repeat because it took us that long to get through it. Tiffany says, no, Metallica, let's get this thing going.
Yeah, that's where it's at for this girl. So I just put my cardigan on, but I think I'm just going to take it right back off.
Just don't show us your beaver again. Let's go with George. George says Stuck on You by Lionel Richie. See, he's in a whole different world than you are, too. He also says Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton.
Oh, that's nice.
All right. Not bad. Misty was with us last week. Misty says Sadness by Enigma. How do you say it? Enigma. Sadness by Enigma. Enigma.
Let's not have you say that fast.
Sadness by Enigma.
That's another one you're going to have to slow down for, Jay.
I don't understand why anybody would want to make love to something that says sadness. I mean, I guess now that I know my wife, I guess sadness might be a good subject.
Jay.
Just kidding, wife. If you're listening, you're not listening. I know better.
Just sleep.
Logan says, I Want You. She's So Heavy by the Beatles. Okay. Kara, Wicked Games, Chris Isaac. Now, see that I can understand.
Yeah.
Jason's like you. You Shook Me All Night Long by AC/DC.
Oh, amen, Jason. Yes.
Jason, you can reach out to Tiffany at tiffany@jfrenzy.com.
Nope. Too much compatibility there. Nope.
I feel so bad for your husband.
I don't feel bad for him at all. He's a lucky man. He gets all this.
First of all, if it's not compatible and you're just beating the shit out of him every night, it might be a problem.
Mr. Mason's listening to Celine Dion. He likes Celine Dion. He likes very meaningful songs, which is surprising because he only listens to music for the way it makes him feel. He doesn't ever listen for the words.
There you go. That says a lot right there, folks. Nina says, I don't want to miss a thing by Aerosmith.
And I don't want to miss a thing.
That makes sense. Dean says, Sway by the Rolling Stones.
I don't know if I know this song. I bet I do.
Ava says, Under the Bridge by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Sorry, Ava, but that's about doing drugs. I don't know how that taking some heroin.
Maybe it makes her feel like she's getting high.
Well, maybe. Blake also says Red Hot Chili Peppers, but he says the Zephyr song.
Wow. So some people like to make love, and some people
like to beat the shit out of each other. Got it. Ella. No, L. Ella. E-L-L-E. L.
Hey, who was Sway by?
Rolling Stones.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
L says Love Bites, Def Leppard.
Love Bites. Why are you making love to that song?
Ricky, Crazy by Aerosmith.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Morgan, Still Loving You by the Scorpions. That's a great song. Jesse, Black by Pearl Jam. Ooh, that's a depressing song. It's a great song, but it's not one I'd want to knock boots to. Brooke, Bed of Roses by Bon Jovi. I can see it. Brooke's probably an 80s girl. Bon Jovi around in the 80s. Bed of Roses. Romantical. Got it. Travis says November Rain by Guns N' Roses. That's because Travis is a man and can hold on for a long time.
That's a long song.
A long song. A lot of baseball thinking there, buddy.
Not as long as Nora Jones on Replay.
No.
But it's close.
We can't all do that, though. That's something you work your way up to.
I'll leave that there.
Sabrina says Whole Lot of Love by Led Zeppelin.
I got a whole lot.
There you go. All right. Scott, Sex Type Thing by Stone Temple Pilots. That's a good song, too.
Ooh, you know what's another good one is Black Cherry, Crazy Bitch.
Yes, it's another stripper song. You like the stripper songs. I don't blame you. I like the stripper songs, too. That's probably why I like Nickelback.
You gonna get naked? I mean...
Yeah. If you gotta keep showing us your beaver. Tasha says, No One's Gonna Love You. Okay. Is that a song, Tasha, or are you just telling me? It's a statement. She says it's by Band of Horses. Good, it's a song. I thought you were just telling me no one's ever going to love me. I know my wife doesn't, but I figured somebody might.
You got 3 kids. She must sometimes.
Yeah, she just used me for my super sperm.
Is that right? And your ultra long performance.
When we met, she told me, she goes, I can't get pregnant, Jay. Don't worry about a thing. And then she said, I just want to have 1 kid. I said, I don't want to have any. She said, I want to have 1. My sisters agreed to carry it. Now, not only did I not get to sleep with her sister, my wife got pregnant on day 1. That lying little thing.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. And then somehow we settled on 3. We settled on 3. Just throwing that out there, too. And when I say day 1, it was day 1 of the marriage, not of the courtship.
Yeah.
The courtship was the long haul to Nora Jones.
Yeah.
The The Marriage Was Crash Into Me by Dave Matthews. Claire says, Thank You by Led Zeppelin. You're All I've Got Tonight by the Cars.
Oh.
Fallon says, You're All I've Got Tonight by the Cars. Oh. Val says, Iris by Google Dolls. Google Dolls. Ooh. That's a good song. Mm-hmm. That's a band that doesn't get the respect it deserves. Mm-hmm. I like them a lot. Out of, They're out of Buffalo, New York. Keith Whitley. When You Say Nothing at All.
Ooh.
Cody says, when you say
Giving
nothing
Alison Krauss a run, huh?
There you go.
I don't think so. I like Alison Krauss better.
Yeah. Savannah says, I Crossed My Heart by George Strait.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, Josh, come on. Josh says, Breathe by Faith Hill.
Oh.
Tiffany says, no, choke. Oh, mercy.
Oh my gosh, have you ever seen, there is a video and it's called the Hot Crazy Scale?
Yes.
And it...
The hotter you are, the crazier you are. Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. If you guys haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube. It'll explain a lot.
Mason, is this your husband chiming in? Tennessee Whiskey, Chris Stapleton.
Oh, damn. That is a baby making song.
Oh, dear God.
Yes. Little Metallica and Slow It Down with Chris.
Oh, Natalie says, Me and You by Kenny Chesney.
It's not ringing a bell.
Luke says, Then by Brad Paisley. Brad Paisley's wife is hot.
You definitely have a type.
I do have a type for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Logan, Forever and Ever, Amen. Randy Travis.
I'm gonna love you.
Oh, here's your Dan and Shay. Bailey says, Speechless by Britt. Huh. Bailey says, Speechless by Dan and Shay. I'm only good if I talk slow, folks.
It's just your brain is thinking faster than your mouth can go.
Autumn says, She's Everything by Brad Paisley.
Oh, that's a nice song.
Do we want to do more or are we done? I can do more. There's plenty of them here tonight. When you start talking about sex, people chime in. Rex says, More Than a Memory by Garth Brooks. Ooh, Luke Bryan. I like Luke Bryan. I listened to Luke Bryan tonight. Holly says, Kiss Tomorrow Goodbye. There's some good
I don't know that
songs
one.
George says there's some good songs on this list. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we should compile a list and post them after the show for people to see what all the results were.
Now you're giving me work. I see how it is.
That's the role of a woman.
Exactly. Presley says, What Hurts the Most by Rascal Flatts.
What hurts the most?
I would say anal.
Brad Williams and Josh Johnson are on tour in San Antonio.
Brad Williams.
Williams brings Growth Spurt Tour to the Majestic Theater.
Did he really name his tour Growth Spurt?
Sure did. Yep.
But nonetheless, he's a little person. He is a very, very funny comedian. He's got a lot of really great skits and stuff. He's a actual comedian. When I say that, I mean somebody who gets on stage and tells pre-written jokes, doesn't just do crowd work. So he's very good at that stuff. He's very clever. His comedy is very good. I've had an opportunity to meet him. He was an okay guy, not the best, but not the worst. And I said he was nice to me, but he was pretty harsh taking photos with some of the fans and stuff. He didn't really want to be doing that. And I think this must happen to him a lot because before he went out to sign autographs for people, he made an announcement. Nobody is allowed to lift him up. So people must try to lift him all the time, like a novelty or a prop or something.
That would piss me off.
No one can lift him up.
That feels like a fair warning.
Yeah,
I think that'd get pretty old.
I don't know if he should have been the one making that announcement. Maybe it should have been somebody on his team. But when he made it, it sounded angry. Like Before I come out there and meet you people,
you're not picking me up.
Nobody can lift me up.
And it's weird to say lift me up. I would say pick me up. I don't know why lift me up.
I don't know. I don't know if those were his exact words. Sorry.
Well, I'm going to need verbatim going forward.
Sorry.
If you don't know it verbatim, I don't want to hear it. Okay, Tony Hinchcliffe, Kill or Be Killed. It is dominating the Netflix charts. Have you watched it?
I have not watched Kill or Be Killed, but I do watch his live podcast, Kill Tony. And I really enjoy that. He's a funny dude. I didn't think he would be funny because I found the podcast first.
Okay.
And he comes across kind of like a wise ass, and he roasts people on the show.
Uh-huh.
That's the stick of the show. He brings these unknown comedians come up on stage, and they do a new minute every week. So if you get to go on stage, you have to do a fresh new minute that you wrote just for that show. And you come on there, and then he critiques it. And it's him and a partner of his called Red Band. And then he brings a famous comedian or two on the stage, and they all sit there and critique these performers. And they can get harsh, and sometimes they go back and forth at each other quite a bit. And Tony, he's gay, so a lot of the people make gay jokes to him, or they go back and forth and rip on him for that. And he's always got a cigarette in his hand on stage and stuff. I mean, he's definitely got an image.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, I don't know if that's the image I would want, is that nonstop bashing back and forth. But then I watched one of his shows. I was like, man, that's actually funny. He's really, really good. So, I mean, I'm a big fan of not only the podcast, but his live performances for sure.
You think it's the visual cues that you get that makes it a little bit funnier when you're watching it versus listening to it?
No, I think part of it before I knew his talent and what he was capable of doing on stage. You hear him get on there and start critiquing people, and a lot of it was very harsh. So you're like, who's this guy that I've never heard of being this harsh to people?
Yeah.
And then when you realize that's part of the game, they go up there, they want that. They want to.
They kind of go into it knowing you're like,
right.
Okay. Yeah. They kind of knew the rules of the game before they.
Yeah. And then you see him perform live, and you're like, wow, he's actually really good. So
yeah.
It was all a pleasant surprise. Finding his show is a pleasant surprise, and seeing his live performance was another pleasant surprise.
I know we've talked about it before. I'm going to go check it out. I wrote it down so I won't forget.
Yeah.
I wrote it down. Everybody else, write it down. Go check them out. Let us know.
Kill Tony. Kill
Tony.
If you're in Austin, Texas, go by Joe Rogan's Mothership and see him film it live. And, if you feel froggy, get up on stage, put your name in the hat. And that's what they do. They literally put your name in a hat, and he picks the name on stage. And if you get called, you're going up there for a fresh minute. Your fresh minute better be good.
Yikes.
I'm telling you, it can be harsh. Nothing a comedian wants more than to be judged on their first 60 seconds when they hit a stage.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, somebody who is getting reviews as being kind of funny is President Trump. So Sarah Silverman thinks that he may have his next career in comedy.
If she thinks Trump is funny and has comedic timing and so forth, which is what she was saying, I think that's pretty good because she's a pretty left-leaning individual, comedian. And for her to recognize, even if it's not a political statement, even recognizing Trump for comedic timing is still a positive thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, you hear him here on the show. I mean, he's got pretty good comedic timing. Where he says, Tiffany, that's fired.
AI Trump.
AI Trump does it for us. That's right.
And Trump, if you're out there, we're happy to have you on the show. You can defend or say thank you. Either way, whichever works for you.
Yeah. I think we started the year with him coming into office, the inauguration, and Carrie Underwood saying, the world or whatever wants to have like this, unity moment where like more people are accepting of each other. And I think that that's pretty cool that the left is willing to say, like, hey, we may not agree with his policies, but he's kind of a funny dude, or he's not so bad to hang out with, because we heard the same thing from Mr. Bill last week.
Bill who?
So, come on, Bill Maher. I don't know if you've heard Maher.
Now you
Bill
sound
Maher.
like me. Bill Maher, yes, not Bill Mayer or Maher.
I think I got it now. Bill Maher.
Bill Maher, sure.
Yep.
If you don't know what we're talking about, episode released today, just go listen to it again. We jacked up his name pretty bad last week.
Pretty bad.
We know what it is.
Yeah. It wasn't like a sounded out kind of thing. It wasn't. No, there's really no excuse.
Bill, jfranze.com/live. Get on here. We'll apologize to your face.
Or hate mail
Tiffany
to
will, because to be fair, I knew it was Bill Maher.
I did butch it. Pretty bad.
AI Trump will tell you too. He fired her over it.
Okay, and last but not least, we got Chelsea Handler. She's announcing abroad. So if you're thinking about like abroad, like a chick going abroad, like abroad the world, across the world.
The
so
pond.
abroad. She is releasing her tour dates. So that's going to be in May. And she's promising candid humor and personal stories.
Nice. I will say that the name of these tours are spot on. They're definitely clever, and they're spot on.
I like it.
I would say that fits her perfectly.
Agreed.
I like Chelsea Handler. I think she's funny.
She is.
I think she can go over the top sometimes. She's a little too much for me sometimes. But I do like her a lot. She's been on Kill Tony.
Oh,
so
okay.
You can go check out her episode. I mean, she gets on there a couple times, and she's pretty aggressive too, and she has no problem letting these newbies know that their comedy was
she probably loves it. Oh, yeah. Well, it probably feels good to hand it to someone like they got handed it to them when they were starting out,
The difference is when they were starting out that there wasn't social media or anything else on them. Cameras on them all the time.
It's true.
But, hey.
It's true.
You know what you're signing up for, my friend.
That's right. We watch all the, ridiculousness and impractical jokers and all that kind of stuff.
I love all that stuff.
Yeah, we do too.
My wife's constant. She makes fun of me for watching that type of stuff, but I like it. I think that stuff's hilarious.
I really like impractical jokers with somebody else in the room, but ridiculousness, I can sit in the room all by myself and laugh so hard. Just tears coming down my face sometimes. I'll rewind it, watch it. That drives Sean crazy.
The only time I even get to watch it anymore is if we go to like a hotel where a channel's just got it on repeat or whatever.
You got to get one of your girls on board with you, and then you can be like, I don't know, it's like our thing. That's what we're doing. No, and then she can't, your wife can't shut down. Okay, get Lucy in on it.
That girl, that's the 10-year-old, folks. The 10-year-old, the middle of the three children. She is brutal. I mean, she's the one who will come right to your face and lie to you. I mean, I didn't do that. What are you talking about? I don't know how the peanut butter got on the ceiling. Who knows? I don't even like peanut butter. I don't know. But yeah, she's that one for sure. So she would love
That's who I was as a kid. She's my spirit animal.
She's the one I sit down with her. We watch Mr. Beast all the time.
Oh, yeah.
She's a big Mr. Beast fan.
Fun.
So there you go. Jimmy, if you want to come on the show and talk to us, I'll get my daughter down here. You can say hello.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
That would be fun. Well, hey, while we're talking about recommendations and stuff, I want to tell you about this idea.
Were we talking about recommendations?
We were. You were talking about the different things we like, right? Weren't we?
Okay.
We mentioned a few things. We recommended some stuff tonight.
Tiffany, you're fired.
I'm sorry that my segues are not as good as yours.
Well, we're talking about recommendations.
I don't know. Sorry. I want to bring up recommendations.
I want you to bring up recommendations.
George, buddy, help me out. I would say get a gag, but now I want to say something else. Let's keep it from going left.
Let's keep
recommendations. I bring up the word recommendations because I want to start this thing. You do not know half of the music I tell you. Okay, you don't know 3/4 of the music I tell you about.
It's more accurate.
So I would like to each episode bring up an artist or a song that you might not be familiar with.
Okay.
And then see what you think of it.
Okay,
Introduce you to the dark side of the world.
Yes, and I'm liking it, actually.
Then you can bring something up and try to get me over to the Swiftie side of the world.
You guys pray for me. I don't know if this is going to go well.
You know, it's funny to me, working in country music for so long, you think that, and I love country music. I listen to either hard rock or hard country. I like the hard rock and, side of both of those.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, ask me a question.
Okay, I have to guess that you like country music out of Texas more than out of Nashville, because Texas has like more punch to it than some of the softer stuff maybe that comes out of Nashville. Is that true, though?
I think you're on to something. I think Texas has the ZZ Top style of music, that style of rock and blues style music, which is a little looser than the Nashville style of music. Mm-hmm. I like the Nashville style of music. I like working in the Nashville style of music. I like the perfectionism of being in Nashville and with those amazing players that do amazing things. But when I produce my own records, when I get to do something of my own, I really prefer rock records. So it's weird. I like rock and music, whether it be rock and country, like a Jason Aldean or something like that. I like the harder edge stuff.
Yeah.
So rock or country, I like the harder edge stuff. But I listen to it all. I mean, I'm a fan of everything. I like Martina McBride a lot. I like her voice is amazing. So it doesn't have to be hard rock. When we think of a song, and I would like to probably consider this when we're talking about our recommendations, to me, a song is made up of three factors. One is the song itself. Okay. Two is the performance of the song. And then three would be the production of the song. Those are the things that I listen to when I listen to a song. And if a song has more than one of those things, to me, that makes it even better. So when you hit a song that has all three of those things, then it's amazing to me. So when you get a really talented singer, or, even like last week we played Twist It, young band, right? Young band. But the song was a good quality song. It was performed extremely well, and the production was a very good production.
Agreed.
It had all three things for such a young band.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. Yeah. But, I think of things like that when I think of Hailstorm. Hailstorm recorded with Jay Joyce. He produced one of their records in Nashville. He's a more alternative producer in Nashville. He's not your typical Bob Bullock or Dan Huff. Jay Joyce experiments and tries different things. And his engineer is a little bit different as well, Jason Hall. Jason Hall was Bob Bullock's engineer. I replaced Jason, went to work for Bob, and Jason went over to work for Jay Joyce. And he's a little bit more experimental as well. It was a good match for the two of them, where I'm more of a perfectionist, and even though I might like the style of music that Jay Joyce produces,
right,
I'm a better fit to work with Bob Bullock.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think that when you get all three of the things together, like Lizzy Hale working with Jay Joyce and writing amazing music, so I think that's a trifecta. I think that's what makes it for me.
Yeah. Are you recommending a song?
You know what? I would like to recommend a song. Let's see. I'll tell you what. Let's start off with Circe. Circe Like a Drum.
Okay.
Kick it off with Circe Like a Drum. Like a drum. Sirsy. For those who want to play along, the song is Like a Drum. It used to be the theme song to the show.
Until YouTube got crazy.
Before YouTube got angry. But Circe, band out of New York, upstate New York, very good. It's a duo. We've mentioned them in the past. Melanie Kramer, she sings, plays drums, plays flute, plays bass on trigger pads. I mean, she's very, very good. And Rich Labuti, he's a guitar player. He also plays bass. He plays bass pedals. He even plays guitar with drumsticks at times. I mean, they're a very, very talented band out of upstate New York. They travel all around the country all the time. if you have an opportunity to see them, George, they're going to be in your neck of the woods in the upcoming month if you want to check them out. But yes, go on YouTube, watch their video, take it all in, like a drum. We'll discuss it next week. And then Miss Tiffany, if you have a song you'd like to recommend to me, have that ready for next week and we'll do that.
Okay. I'll dig deep and decide what I'm going to expose you to.
Dig deep and expose me. Oh,
yikes.
I like it. And George says he's been following them. So good. Thank you, George.
Oh, cool.
Cersei is definitely a band worth following. All right. What else you got going on?
Well, I thought I would ask, what did you do for Easter? How was your Easter? Did you have a good Easter?
You know what? Easter wasn't bad. We didn't do much outside of the family. As a family, we ate dinner. But before we ate our dinner, I took Bella and Lucy. We went to church, our community church, and we got to see the Mass and do all the church-like things. Mm-hmm. Lucy enjoyed it. I mean, to whatever it's worth, she's 10 years old. But Bella, being a little older at 15 years old, she took it a little bit more serious. And she's got some health struggles going on right now, so she felt good being there and singing along with the church choir, relieve some of her symptoms. Not relieve them as in medically relieve them. It just took her mind off of them and allowed her not to go through them for a little bit. So we found out that singing and participating in music it distracts her brain from her symptoms. So it was a good day at the church. Then afterwards we came home. We ate a lunchtime-ish meal. My wife made the traditional ham and a whole boatload of sides. No green eggs. So we had all that stuff. And then because we have a 3-year-old daughter as well, we got to put the Easter eggs out in the yard. And all 3 of them ran around. Bella, 15, helped Valen, the 3-year-old, find the eggs because Lucy, the 10-year-old, was running around like a lightning. She didn't care that Valen's only 3. She's like, I'm finding the damn eggs. She was on a mission. There was 2 things in there that she wanted that I was unaware.
I love this kid.
It was no mercy, I will tell you. She's running over the 3-year-old. But I found out my wife had some of those plastic eggs where you put stuff inside of them. So not just candy inside of them. She put little messages inside of some of them. And one of them was, you could skip a day of school.
Oh.
So Lucy's like, I'm getting that thing. And then another one was, you can get Snapchat. Now, Bella has Snapchat, so she doesn't care. But Lucy got it taken away from her.
Oh.
So she wanted that back. She wanted it back bad. So those 2 things put her on a mission. And let me tell you, there was no mercy, to the point where Bella had to work with a 3-year-old, and somehow they ended up with an equal amount in each basket. But it was... Well,
there's a way to avoid that. Next year, you do colored eggs, like each child has one color.
Oh, look at
or I saw an interesting one where a dad had like all these eggs taped to his shirt, and then it was kind of like tag. Like the kids had to run up and like pull an egg off the dad's shirt. So, there's other variations you could try next year.
Picture a kid coming up to me just... I don't know. Whatever. Sure. So that's what we did. What did you do?
Well, we had a good day. I have started helping with production at church, so that was kind of fun. I got to see Lincoln the drummer again, and just seriously so impressed just with the force that they have to hit the drums with. I guess it did not dawn on me. So that was fun. It was fun to watch him stop the cymbal from, vibrating from making sound.
Yep.
Yeah, that was cool. Again, just watching him keep beat while he was, while the song would be slow, he'd be sitting back there and then I was like, oh, I bet they have like a click going on. I felt so much more educated. And so it was cool watching all those guys. And then went home. And we actually took the boat out, which was so nice. We don't have a boat, but we belong to a boat membership.
We don't have a boat. We took the neighbors out. It was a good time. Took them a long time before they found us.
It's kind of like that. We don't have to worry about storage or insurance or anything. We just pick it up, go have fun, and bring it back and drop it off and bye. We don't have to rinse it down. We don't have to do any of that. It's awesome. So that was really fun. Hannah had 2 of her friends come out. They all proceeded to get burned. My sister was like this. I was not like this, but Hannah, she checks the UV and she's like, "Oh, good,
does that.
10." Like, what? You want to get burnt? I don't understand it. But anyway, they were all very excited. There was an awesome spot where there's like a sandbar, so we could dock at it. And it was super, super fun. And then we proceeded to come home. And that was it. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you. So the night before Easter, we moved in December. And then my husband likes to play this fun game.
Best time of the year to move.
Best time of the year. He likes to play a fun game called I'm just going to put it there until I reorganize it. And then he never reorganizes it. So all the stuff that I want is buried. And I tell him, I'm like, hey, don't bury the stuff because then when I want it, you won't get it out. And then he gets real pissy and he's like, this is just a spot, just for now. But then it never gets changed. So if he would just listen to my actual words where I say to him, hey, if you just put the stuff in the front, I'll get it down. I'll put the stuff out on display. I'll put it back and you don't have to do anything. But I guess he likes fighting with me. I'm not really sure. Or he likes hearing me complain. So he leaves it, buried. So the night before Easter, I was like, oh gosh, the basket is buried behind all the Christmas stuff from when we moved. And then he was like, he was joking and he was not being like rude or argumentative or anything. He's like, but now you tell me? And I was like, I know. I should have said something way earlier. So I was thinking the next morning, the alarm clock goes off and I'm like, oh, it's Easter. I'm like, what am I going to do? We have this huge stainless steel bowl we never do anything with. So we shoved all of our stuff in there. So she got an Easter bowl for Easter. And I guess I'm just chalking it up to like third kid, right? I'm like,
that sounds like something I would do.
I'm like third kid, whatever. Bowl it is.
I think your husband and my wife are the same person.
That's probably why we're married to them.
That's why we're on here.
Right. Having a good old time.
Making as many lefts as we can make.
Because they keep us right.
I don't know. Whatever.
Well, I will tell you what I'm super excited for is Saturday night, Roskaloosa, right here in my hometown. I'm going to take my golf cart over. I'm going to pick my friend up. We're going to go over.
I'm going to take my golf cart over.
I know.
You say that like we all have one.
I know.
Take my golf cart over to the show.
We live in the coolest
take the boat
place.
Out.
Well,
you can take the boat out, then take the golf cart over to the show.
We live in something called, I guess it's called a planned community. And I had never heard of this concept before, but we have like these amazing water parks that will like put any, like we used to go to Wisconsin to the Great Wolf Lodge. And that was like, such a treat. This water park puts that to shame. We have golf cart paths everywhere. Everybody picks their kids up on golf carts. We take the golf cart to the grocery store. We take the golf cart all around town all the time. It's like seriously the coolest thing.
Now, to be fair, I'm assuming you did not have the golf cart until you moved to this community.
Correct. It was actually the coolest thing that my husband did for us. When we moved down here, we drove down, obviously, our stuff. But we had pods meet us here or whatever. So when we got here, our stuff wasn't here yet. So this was actually, I think, the first house that we all got to move into together. Because normally Sean goes ahead of us. But this was different. He was there with us. I don't know. Anyways, so the garage door opens and there's a golf cart with like a big bow on it for us. And we're like, oh my God, this is so cool. Because when we were getting ready to move down, Sean was like, yeah, when we get down. But he could tell that Preston and I were going to butt heads hard on the color. Preston was set on orange and I did not want an orange golf cart. Yeah, and I don't think Sean wanted to be stuck in the middle of it. So he just got one before we got down here. And they delivered it, put it in the garage. And then when we got here, like the garage door comes up and there's a golf cart. We're like, no freaking way. Yeah. So we're going to take the golf cart over. I'm going to pick my friend up and we're going to go to Roskaloosa, which is Nashville songwriters come down. They perform their songs. They tell how they were written. And, I went the first year and it wasn't what I was expecting. I wanted to hear the songs from the songwriters. but it's kind of a drunk fest too. So I was like, okay, that wasn't very fun. So then the next time I went with my really good friend, and I was like, okay, this time is going to be awesome. No, she just wanted to get drunk too. So this year when I invited my friend, I was like, listen, I can go by myself or you can come with me. But I was like, the name of the game is shut up and listen. I was like, I am not going to get trashed. And I want to actually hear these songs. I want to hear they were 16. Their first boyfriend broke up with them. Whatever. I want to hear that story. I want to hear their dad died. And this is a song that they created to help cope with the loss of their parent. You know, like I just want to hear those songs, where these songs originated, because I really care about it. But I do kind of almost want to bring a notebook with me. And I just want to like write the stories down. I want to remember. So when I hear the song, I don't know. I think I probably have too high of expectations, but I'm very excited about it. And my friend is she's the right person to go with. So I'm very excited. I hope it's as good as I think it's going to be.
And that's this Saturday?
That's this Saturday.
That would explain why my wife says, no, you cannot go. And we all know that she is the boss in the family. However.
But in all fairness, it was because she can't split herself. She needs you to be a parent this weekend.
That's what I'm saying. Lucy, the 10-year-old that we've already established, might lie to you about peanut butter on her ceiling or something. That did not happen, but that is something that she would do. However, the whole point is she is a competitive dancer, and she has got competition Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week. Gonna be a good time.
Which is so funny, because if it was me, I'd be like, this is going to be awesome. I get to watch dance for 4 whole days. Like, I would be all there for it.
I'll tell you, I'll lose my man card. I'll tell you right now, when she goes on stage, I'll cry.
Aww.
But she is awesome. She is super talented for a 10-year-old. I mean, she is super talented.
Yeah.
Naturally gifted at it.
She gets that from your wife?
No. My wife is not graceful at all.
Oh.
I don't know where she gets it. Probably from me. I'm extremely graceful. I last forever, and
yeah,
I have all the good traits.
Right.
I possess them all. That's why this is an audio show.
What is Bella doing this weekend?
That's a good question. Thank you for asking. Bella has 2 things. She will go to the dance competition. She will support her sister. Because, for one, that's just what she does. She was very upset because Saturday she might not get to go support the sister. She will. I'll get her there. But it's going to be a race. But she's very supportive of her sister. She teaches at the dance school. She just doesn't compete with the dance team. She doesn't want to be a competitor. She chooses to teach at the school versus compete. She's very good at teaching. She likes doing that. But Saturday, her school is doing this thing for the community where they set up booths and give people tours around or do whatever they do. But my daughter's setting up a face painting station. She's a face painter. She has her own business. And, I mean, 15 years old. She's got her own business doing face painting and stuff, and she's going to go do this. So she's very excited about it. So that's Saturday. As soon as that face painting is over, we're going to get in my car and drive like a rocket to see the other one compete.
Nice.
So there you go. Something for everyone. And then the 3-year-old will be just running around like a little tornado, driving everybody crazy. All right, folks. Well, like I said, we have reached the bottom of the hour, which does mean we have reached the end of the show. If you have found any value in tonight's show, please tell a friend. Miss Tiffany, if you have not.
Tell 2.
Tell 2. Tell 3. Tell as many as you want. Let's get some people.
Tell them all about it.
Tell them all about it. They'll have to come see it for themselves.
That's right.
You can also reach out to us over at jfranze.com. We will be happy to talk to you, keep conversations going, talk to you about something else, whatever you would like. But we will do that, and we will also spend time on our socials, getting to know each and every one of you that would like to leave us a comment or talk to us. Miss Tiffany, my friend, do you have any final words for us?
Yes. I want everybody to remember that every track you love was once just an idea. Don't be afraid to chase yours.
Nice. Look at you. I like the wisdom. I like it.
I'm full of it.
You are full of it for sure.
Surprised my eyes aren't brown.
All right, folks. On that note, Yeah, have a good night.
Thanks for listening to The Jay Franze Show. Make sure you visit us at jfranze.com. Follow, connect, and say hello. This episode has been brought to you by VR Knives, your source for 100% custom knives made by a true rock star. So, if you're in the market for a new piece of art, reach out to VR Knives. 407-421-5528. 407-421-5528.